Hey everybody, this is Shane with the Trek Health 365 program. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about setting SMART goals. As everybody meets with me, one of the big parts of our conversation is discussing the goals you have and making sure that there's something you're going to be able to achieve during the course of this program. So I want to talk about the acronym SMART. I'm sure you guys have all heard of it. Let's break that down a little bit, and we'll even give you a little new information at the end of how you can make your goals smarter and not just smart. So each of you have really joined the program. Each have things in mind that you really want to achieve. Maybe you want to improve your bioscreen score. Maybe you have a weight loss goal. Maybe you want to be able to ride your bike better, farther, whatever that is. And the more we can create a plan for you and really make it smart, the more successful you're going to be at achieving that. So what does SMART stand for? So S is specific. So that's the who, what, where, when, and why of your goal. Well, the who is obvious, right? Who is you? You're the one trying to achieve the goal. What's the goal? Is it a weight loss goal? Is it a performance goal? Is it a bioscreen goal? Really, what is that you're trying to achieve? Where are you going to achieve it? Maybe your goal has a specific location. So if it's a cycling related goal, maybe it's an event that you want to participate in. Some of those goals are going to have a where, some of them aren't. When, all of our goals should really have a when. When am I going to achieve this thing by? Not just some arbitrary point in the future, but what's the date? January 1st. July 31st, whatever the case might be. Pick a date and stick to it. That's going to help a lot. It's going to help with accountability. And then lastly is why. Why is this goal important to me? What is my motivation for wanting to achieve that? If we're motivated to achieve a goal, whatever the reason might be, our likelihood of success really increases. So again, S is specific. So when we're setting these goals, let's be specific. M is measurable. So how do I know when I've really achieved my goal? And the more we can put some metrics to things that allow us to both measure when we've succeeded and our progress along the way, the more likely it is we're going to be happy with the outcome. So if I have a weight loss goal, I don't want to say, I want to lose some weight. That's not a very good goal. Maybe my more specific and measurable goal is, I want to lose 10 pounds by January 1st. That's more measurable, right? We've got a date in there, we've got that when in there, and we've got some specifics that make it measurable. Not just some weight, but 10 pounds or whatever it might be. I want to increase my bioscreen score by 20 points next year. The more we can define that, the better you're going to have being successful in achieving that goal. Is it attainable? Do I really have the right mindset to want to go do this? Do I have the abilities? Do I have the skills? Do I have the financial capacity? Some goals, there's a financial component, right? If I want to go climb Mount Everest, well, I might have to sell my house to do that, to achieve that goal. So some of our goals don't have a financial constraint to them, or not to the extent that it's going to prevent us from achieving. But we want to make sure that, yes, this thing we are setting out for all intents and purposes, is something that we can legitimately attain. If it's not something that we feel like we can attain, what are some smaller steps that might prepare us to really go after that goal? Or do we need to adjust our timeline so it's not a 6-month goal, maybe it's a 5-year goal? And what am I doing along the way to really get there? So how attainable is it? And really, any goal is attainable with the right plan, with the right timeline, with the steps in place, but we want to be realistic about that. Is it relevant? And when we say relevant, what I mean is, are you ready, willing, and able to take on that goal? If it's really important to you, but now is just not the right time, again, maybe we want to work through some of those steps to get you prepared to take on that goal more seriously. What can we do in preparation? So are you ready to start really diligently working towards this thing right now? Are you willing? if I set a goal for you and it's not your own goal, you may not be as willing to go achieve it as something that you set yourself. So is it motivating to you? Again, that ties in with that why. Why are you going after this? And are you able? Maybe there are skills that you don't have yet that you need to develop further to be able to really effectively go after this goal. And that's totally fine. Those can be parts of those short-term goals. The big thing with relevant goals too, that I don't want people to be afraid of, is setting big goals. And it's okay if it's an extended timeline. If you want to set a big goal, that's going to be super motivating as you see yourself making progress towards it. And those big goals, even if they might scare you a little bit, are really the most fulfilling to achieve. So don't be afraid to set those, even if that really extends your timeline out and we have to make a longer plan to get there. So again, R is relevant. And then T is time-based. When are you going to achieve this? And that ties back into specifics as well. When was part of the specifics. So is it a goal that I think I can achieve in a week? Really short term? Do I think I can achieve it this month, this year? Or is it longer term than that? But put a date out there. And some of those goals can be kind of make or break dates. If I want to do the Trek 100 this year and I want to ride a certain distance, well, I have to show up on that date, and I'm either going to ride that distance or I'm not. And the work that I put in and the things that I do to get me there are going to determine my success on that date. If my goal is a weight loss goal, well, if I don't hit my benchmark for my date, we can just readjust the timeline. That's totally okay. So, think about that. Is this a really hard and fast date that I have to set, or is it a date that I think is reasonable for my goal, and can we adjust along the way? And there's always some adjustment, even if it is a hard and fast date. But it's really important to identify how long-term or short-term is this goal, and when am I going to achieve it? So how do we become smarter? So instead of just being smart, I want you guys to be smarter. And the way that we do that, number one, is E, is evaluate. So not just set my goal, make it smart right now, and then on that date and time when I'm supposed to have achieved it or I'm attempting to achieve it, I either pass or fail on that date. Well, that's not really the best way to go about it. We want to have some benchmarks along the way, and that ties into being measurable. How close am I to achieving that goal? Am I 10% of the way there? Am I 15% of the way there? Am I 75% of the way there? How close am I? Am I really far away? Am I getting really close? And that really ties into R. And R is readjust. So after I evaluate, if I determine I'm no closer to my goal than I was a month ago, that's okay. Let's stop and ask ourselves, why is that? Why am I not closer to my goal? Am I not sticking to the plan? Am I not executing the plan? Am I not being consistent? Or do we just need to make changes in the plan? Do I need to do more? Is there something I'm missing entirely? What is that? And that's where that readjustment piece comes in. After we evaluate, let's readjust that plan if we need to. If the plan is working, let's stick to the plan. That's great. If you're right on track, just keep executing. But if it's not a failure to readjust, whether that's readjust the strategy or readjust the timeline. We need to be flexible to that. So again, this is something we're going to talk about a lot more. We'll talk about it in our individual meetings and really being specific about these goals, setting smart goals, making sure that you guys are setting smarter goals or that we're following the smarter process as we go along to really make sure that you guys get the most out of this program, that we set you up as best we can during the course of the next 6 months and 12 months and into the future and on and on and on, so you guys can keep going after the things that you really want to. So that's what I've got for you today. Look forward to meeting with all of you if I haven't met with you already, and look forward to hearing more about your goals and how the Trek Health 365 program can help you achieve those. We'll talk to you guys later.